You ever finish a story and just think, man, I could have done that so much better? Well, today we're diving headfirst into the world of fanfiction to explore that exact feeling, the power-up fantasy. And we're using a story that totally flips the beginning of Harry Potter on its head. I mean, think about it. It's the question that fuels thousands upon thousands of stories. What if the hero didn't have to start from square one? What if they walked into chapter 1 not as a clueless kid, but as a battle-hardened, all-powerful veteran? That's the fantasy we're digging into. Okay, so let's just lay it all out. On one side, you've got the Harry Potter we all know, right? 11 years old, living in a cupboard, totally unaware he's a wizard. But in this version, forget it. Inside that kid's body is the mind of a 30-something-year-old war chief, a master of the elements from the world of Azeroth. And the story kicks off the second this powerful mind wakes up, trapped back in that weak, forgotten body.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to meet this completely different Harry, get a handle on his new powers, watch him test them out, and then we'll see the house come down, literally. After that, we'll talk about why this kind of fix-it story is just so darn appealing.
Right, so the story opens in that famous, cramped, dusty cupboard. But the person waking up? It's not a scared little boy who thinks he's perfectly normal. Nope, it's a confused veteran, a leader, who suddenly finds himself stuck in a frail, tiny body he can barely even recognize.
Can you just imagine the shock? I mean, 1 minute, you're this respected prophet, a leader of your people, and the next, you're right back in the one place that represents your absolute powerlessness. The story does a great job of giving you that sensory whiplash, the smell, the tight space, that feeling of old trauma just washing over you. And this is the big question rattling around in his mind. He's seriously wondering what's real. Was his entire other life, a life full of war and leadership and incredible power, was all of that just some hyper-realistic dream? Or is this sad little existence the dream? It's that confusion that really gets the ball rolling. So where did all this power and experience even come from? Well, the idea here is that he was somehow teleported to Azeroth, the world from World of Warcraft, and he lived a whole other life there for decades. And we're not talking about fuzzy, half-forgotten memories here. These are sharp. They're real. He can feel what it was like to talk to the elements. He remembers the horrors of the battlefield, the sheer weight of being a leader. This isn't just Harry with a few extra spells. It's a completely different soul living in his body. And this is what he was, a shaman. Now, for anyone who doesn't know the Warcraft lore, a shaman isn't just some wizard throwing fireballs. They have a real connection to the elements. They ask for power. They bargain with it. They're spiritual leaders, healers, and yeah, pretty terrifying warriors. This is the new set of skills Harry's bringing to the table.
Okay, so first things first. The biggest question he has is, did the magic follow him? Is he still the prophet of Azeroth, or is he back to being plain old Harry Potter stuck in a cupboard? This is the moment of truth.
And there it is, the answer. He just holds out his hand, calls on the elements, and they answer him, even here. In that one moment, the entire rulebook for the Harry Potter universe gets thrown out the window. He's not waiting for some owl to tell him he's magic. He's already a master of a kind of magic nobody's ever even seen before. And this is where everything goes completely sideways. Uncle Vernon catches him messing with his magic, and the fight that happens next isn't just some family squabble. It is the absolute total annihilation of the story as we know it. Okay, so it happens fast. Vernon bellows his classic line about no magic, but instead of shrinking back, this Harry just stands his ground. Vernon lunges for him, and Harry's warrior instincts just kick in. He throws up a defensive spell, an earth shield, without even thinking. But there's a big problem. The magic doesn't just appear from thin air. It rips the materials it needs from the closest source. And that's all Vernon can get out. He's not just angry now. He is completely and utterly terrified. I mean, he just watched the wall of his own house peel itself away to protect this kid. The power is real. It's undeniable. And to him, it's monstrous. And yeah, he's not wrong to be scared. We're not talking about a little crack in the plaster. The entire load-bearing wall of the house is just gone, ripped out to make a shield. There is no coming back from this. For the house or for the story. And the reactions from the rest of the family are, well, they're pretty priceless.
Petunia is just screaming her head off about the house and what the neighbors will think. Vernon's rage has been totally short-circuited by fear. He's just silent. And then you've got Dudley, who sees a wall explode and immediately thinks it's the coolest video game he's ever seen.
But here's the thing. As the house is literally collapsing around them, Harry's power immediately shifts from defense to protection. This is the moment that shows us he's not a victim anymore. He's a guardian now.
Get this. He uses the very rubble of his childhood prison to save the people who put him there. He forms a massive golem out of concrete and rebar and bricks, and it shields the Dursleys from the caving-in roof. He's in total control, turning a disaster he started into a showcase of his power and his instinct to protect.
Well, the fallout is instant. You can't just have a house in a normal suburb collapse into a pile of dust without someone noticing. And sure enough, the wizarding world shows up. They pop into existence out of thin air, wands drawn, ready to handle what looks like a massive magical disaster. The story has officially gone completely off the rails. So, that's the story in a nutshell. It's a wild ride for sure, but it makes you wonder, why is this so satisfying? What's the real appeal of this kind of fix-it story? Well, it really boils down to a few things we all kind of crave. First, it's just so cathartic to see the underdog finally get some real power. We felt bad for the original Harry, so seeing this version stand up for himself feels good. It's also just pure wish fulfillment, isn't it? Who wouldn't want to go back in time and fix their mistakes, but with all the knowledge they have now? And honestly, part of it is just the fun of breaking the rules, taking a world you know like the back of your hand and just smashing it to pieces to see what happens next.
And that's what makes this kind of thing so cool. It lets us play in the sandboxes of the stories we love. So that kind of leaves one last question for you. If you could give any character a massive power-up and send them all the way back to the beginning of their story, who would you pick and what would you change?